Welcome to the collection data type classes. In this video, we will discuss few methods for each collection data type. Let's start with the list class. We will discuss the isEmpty method, get method that accepts a key parameter, remove method that accepts an index as a parameter, contains method that accepts an element parameter, sort and size methods, and addAll method that accepts either a list or a set. Okay, so a list could be empty or it could be filled with elements such as integers, strings, or any other data type. However, in order to check if a list is empty, we could use the isEmpty method. This will return true if the list is empty, else it returns false. Here we have a collection variable of type integer with few predefined values. We can add more values if we wanted to. Now if we use the isEmpty method on our collection, we get the result as false, because the collection as we know is not empty. A list has its elements placed by indexes that start with 0. For instance, if we want to retrieve an element at index 4, we can use the get method and pass the index 4 as the parameter. This in return will get the value 7. The way we apply this in Apex is by using the get method on our collection variable and pass the index number as the parameter. This will give us the output of integer, as that's our collection type. Note that the output type for the get method is always going to be the type of collection we are dealing with. Let's change our list so that it holds string elements. Next, we want to get rid of an element from the list. In this case, we can use the remove method and pass the index of the element we would like to remove. Once the desired element is removed, the next element will take place of the one that is removed. In our code, we have a list of string. As discussed, we use the remove method on the collection and pass the index value as the parameter. This will inherently remove the element from the list. Using the same list that holds string elements, we want to check if our list of string contains a specific element. For this, we can use the contains method on our list. Let's see how it works. We use the contains method against our random variable and pass the value that we want to look for. If that value exists in a list, we get true as an output. Sorting a list of elements is pretty easy in Apex. For example, we have list of unordered dates that we want to sort in ascending order. This can be accomplished using the sort method. In our code, we have few unordered dates that we then add to a list. Finally, we can use the sort method on the list. Sometimes there are situations where we would like to know the total number of elements within a list. This can be achieved using the size method of the list class. In this example, we use the size method on our random dates variable and get 5 as an output. One other thing we would possibly do in our code is to copy all elements from one list or set to another. Apex allows this using the addAll method that accepts either a list or a set as the parameter. Let's say we have few dates that are placed within a list. Next, we create a new list and add a date using the new instance method of a date class. Now we want to copy over all the existing dates from the old list. We can simply use the addAll method on the list that the elements will be copied over to, and pass the list that has the elements to be copied over as the parameter. Let's move to set collection. Set has quite a number of methods that are similar to what we discussed for list. So we will look at other methods such as clone method, equals method that accepts another set as the parameter, containsAll, and removeAll method that accepts either a list or a set. For starters, let's say we want to duplicate a set collection. An amateur way of doing this would be to use add method within a for loop, which will add each element from old set to a new set. Or we could use the addAll method once we declare a new set. But to simplify things, we can use the clone method, which will duplicate the old set and generate a new one. If ever in a situation where we want to compare two sets, we can use the equals method. For instance, here we have the first set of decimal type. Let's add 2 more values as a direct list. Once that's done, we can clone the first set, which will give us an exact duplicate. Finally, let's check if our cloned set is exactly the same as the first set, and we get true as a result. Quite often there are situations where developers are required to check if all the elements from a set is present in another set. In this case, we can simplify the process using the containsAll method of the set class. We use this method on another set and pass the first set as the parameter. This will result in a Boolean output, depending on whether all the elements from the first set are present in another set variable. The same behavior can also be followed to check against a list of elements. Once we find all the elements that are present, we can then remove those elements from the another set using the removeAll method. To remove elements from a set, apply the removeAll method to the set variable and pass the set of elements to be removed as a parameter. Last but not the least, let's discuss the map class methods. We will walk through the containsKey method, get method, and the remove method that all accept a key parameter. And finally, putAll method that accepts anotherMap as the parameter. If we wanted to check if a specific key exists within a map collection, we can use the containsKey method. For instance, here we have a map of key value pair for first name, last name, and age. Thereafter, if we look for a key called fname, that is the first name key, we will receive a Boolean output. In this case, it will be true because the key does exist. Here's the code for it. Once we figure out we have the key in our map, we can use the get method to get the value of the key by passing the key as the parameter. In this instance, for fname, we would receive John as the output. Here's the same code but with get method implemented. Notice that the output data type of the get method depends on the map collection's value data type. Additionally, we can also remove a key value pair using the remove method of the map class by passing the key as the parameter. Let's pretend we would like to remove the last name key. To do so, we write the following in our code. Just use the remove method on a map collection and pass the key as the parameter. This will automatically modify the existing map and save the results. Finally, let's look at the putAll method that accepts anotherMap as the parameter. It basically gets all the key value pairs from an existing map and puts it into a new map. Here in our code, we have an existing map. We then create another map with an ID key value pair as a predefined value. Before we move forward, let's verify the size of the map. Here we get 1 because it only has one key value pair. Now we would like to get all the key value pairs from an existing map and put those into a new map, for which we will use the putAll method on our new map collection and pass the existing map as the parameter. Lastly, let's reconfirm the size. Now we get the size of 4 because of the 3 new key value pairs we received from the existing map. Before I leave you guys to yourself, I would like you to practice on what you learned using the following scenarios. Your job is to determine what method of a class can be used and what could be the syntax. This has been Collection Data Type Classes. If you found this video helpful, please do like and subscribe. Don't forget to comment your practice answers in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, be safe and take care. Peace.